Okay, so...
Second episode.
Yeah, episode number 2.
We're here.
We made it. It's been another week of Veganuary.
Yeah. And Saint introduced me to a documentary that we want to discuss.
Yeah, so this week in Veganuary, we are coming to you to talk to you about Cowspiracy, which is a documentary on Netflix. And if I had to summarize what this documentary is about, it's essentially about the meat and dairy industry, and the general approach or the general question that is being asked in this documentary is, why do nonprofits, organizations, and people focused on sustainability and advocating for sustainability and caring for our environment, why do these groups and people not talk about animal agriculture? And so throughout the film, the director goes and interviews organizations like Greenpeace. Can you think of any others? Greenpeace is the one that comes to mind. Sierra Club.
He interviews a couple of different organizations that focus on saving our planet, and it was very interesting because during his interview process, he did interview someone from Greenpeace, and he kind of like explains what's going on within Greenpeace. And so it's very interesting how the meat industry kind of has their, I don't want to say claws, but they have a big influence on where our economic development, eco development is, and where it's going.
Right. So to be just perfectly blunt, like the premise of this documentary is that these are organizations that focus on sustainability, and the number one choice that each individual, like you or I, could make towards, helping our planet, reducing carbon emissions, saving water, like eliminating toxic waste, allowing our oceans to recover, literally every single environmental issue, the number one choice an individual consumer can make to impact those is by removing meat and dairy products from their diet. And it shows the impact that meat and dairy industry has on things like global warming, carbon emissions, and things by volume, and it is far and away the highest impact industry, even ahead of things like transportation. Like when I saw that animal agriculture contributes more carbon emissions than the transportation industry, I felt lied to, because I'm over here thinking that I'm like an environmental queen for wanting and trying to get a Tesla, and it turns out all I had to do was just not eat animals. And this whole thing made me very angry, to be honest. I was pretty angry.
I was a little alarmed with the fact, so I took some notes, so don't mind me, but so for every person, we eat X amount of meat. And so there's not enough meat to feed everyone in our planet. And the more meat we grow, the less acreage we have, the less land to grow vegetables. And in the documentary, it does talk about how 1 acre of land that's for gardening and vegetables can feed you for a whole year, where you need acres and acres to feed yourself for a year with animal products. Yes. We definitely recommend going and watching this because it was a big eye-opener for both of us, and it's just interesting that people are starving because there's not enough food on this planet to feed us. Yeah, quote unquote food. But there is if we stopped eating meat.
Yeah, I think the thing that overall just really frustrated me and made me angry was I felt like I had abandoned myself somewhere along the line, and this movie kind of was like, hello, flashing lights, like, wake up. Because the truth is that the United States government telling you what to eat, like, of course, I'm a black woman. We have a history in this country of like not necessarily having the government tell us what is best for our bodies, and I'll let you research that on your own. But the U.S. Government recommends that we, like every single American, eat a certain amount of dairy, each, like in your diet, and 73% of black people are lactose intolerant, 95% of Asian Americans are lactose intolerant, and so right there, with that one fact alone, Amy's lactose intolerant.
I'm so lactose intolerant.
With that one fact alone, you already have this like governing body where we're getting all of our information from and how to live, telling us to do this thing that literally is making us sick. So throughout this process, you start to learn where those decisions are made. And so it shows how lobbying and how the animal agriculture industry exerts its influence upon the parts of the government that actually make the food charts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's one part where he actually interviews a lobbyist, and he asks them, do you pay these nonprofit organizations? And she couldn't comment. So somewhere, like, the government is controlling what we eat. They want you to eat meat, and it's just mind-boggling.
I'm not sure what the motive is, truly, because, I mean, so the follow-up to Cowspiracy, or, like, the other documentary that I watched is What the Health, and, I'm just gonna kind of blend those two together, but Amy hasn't watched that yet, so she can't really comment on it, but the things that these two documentaries together reveal to me is just really the naturalness of eating plants, and the importance of positioning oneself as being for eating plants rather than against eating meat and dairy. Most people, including people who are very close to me, are very protective of their meat. And even these organizations were very protective of their meat. There were organizations recommending that you eat meat and calling meat sustainable, like calling certain meat choices more sustainable than others. And yet, as a whole, the industry is very unsustainable. So I think that focusing on plant-based and focusing on what we do want to grow is what I took away from that, because when we focus on the beautiful plant foods that we can eat, we only make it better. And we've seen that over the past 5 years. We've got Beyond Meat, we've got jackfruit doing its thing, barbecue jackfruit everywhere, and vegan products have exploded in stores.
I was a big hamburger, I wanted a hamburger every week, you guys. Hamburger and french fries. I never in my life thought that a veggie burger would be able to substitute a regular hamburger.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
Mm.
Veggie burgers are the best thing that we have created, you guys. You don't have to eat meat anymore. There's so much out there that is better for you, better quality, overall healthier. And you can make your own, you can buy your own. It's absolutely beautiful what you can now eat.
Mm-hmm. What I would be curious to learn more about, and what I'm so excited to be revealed in the coming decades, is all the stories, which I'm sure you may have heard some, of people switching to whole foods, plant-based diets, and just going through these, like, allowing their bodies to heal. What the Health featured some amazing transformations of people who stopped eating meat and dairy, went to whole foods, plant-based, and then within weeks, these issues that they have resolved. So I can sometimes watch things and be like, oh my god, I'm gonna, react to this, do this now. I'm really curious to see, have other people experienced healings like that at all?
Personally, I have. So I'm not heavy, but I've definitely gotten a little bit bigger, and like my acne has been breaking out. I didn't know what I was doing wrong, you guys. I wash my face, I tone my face, I try really hard not to touch my face, but it was always breaking out. Took milk out, took cheese out, no ice cream, guys. It's been like 2 weeks of no dairy products. My skin looks fantastic. I have just lost a bunch of unnecessary like water weight. It was just like, it held, like the cheese and the like milk products just kind of sat there. They couldn't go anywhere. And I'm sleeping better. I'm focused. You know, it's interesting just taking one thing out of your diet can do for you.
Yes. You know, overall, and like just as a broad update, I've also noticed a reduction in my acne. And my acne is largely due to my birth control, and I know that, but the fact that removing meat and dairy had such a big impact on my acne, I am pretty shocked and so grateful. So, all in all, Cowspiracy, what inspired, I mean, for me, I found it and I was like, if I'm gonna do vegan, I want to learn about vegan. But like, what did you take away from that?
It was just like, so I try so hard to recycle, don't use a lot of water, and when you recommended it to me, I watched the first little bit and I was like, what is happening? And I got mad too. I was just like, I do 2-minute showers. My partner rides his bike. I mean, if we carpool together, and just the fact that like eating meat is ruining our Mother Earth. I love my Mother Earth. She's absolutely beautiful, and I want her to continue to give us these blessings that she's always been giving us, but I can't, it's so crazy to me that meat is such a livestock is such a destructive thing on this planet. But it's not even just like the livestock is necessarily destructing, it's how we breed them. It's that we're breeding them specifically for meat. And then if you guys watch this documentary, which we totally agree that you should, they kill animals that are important for Mother Earth to cleanse, to take care of the old, the sick. They are killing those animals off because it threatens livestock. And I was just like, what? Like, but we need to have a balance.
There's so many things that documentary just revealed to me, and I encourage you to watch it. I mean, the one thing that I really truly want to embody after seeing that is, one, honesty. And I felt like it woke me up to, you know, being real with myself about the impact that meat and dairy has, and like how much of it we are consuming, how many lives we are consuming. Because there is a part in the documentary, just as a heads up for any animal lovers out there, there is a part in the documentary where you watch an animal be killed on screen. So heads up, you will know well in advance when that time comes. That being said, I watched it. I did not blink, didn't watch it. Amy, did you watch it?
I couldn't watch it. I knew it was coming, and I get sick just knowing like when an animal is dead on the street. So watching someone kill an animal, I was like, no, this is not. I can't. No.
I wanted to know the price, and I'm glad that I watched, because watching a life just kind of end like that, and watching the man's reaction to it, and talking about how he was raised, and he even says that when he was a kid, like he was 5, he was like, oh, I felt uncomfortable with it. I was like, why are we doing this? And then as I got more and more exposed to it, I became fine with it. I really truly identified with what he said. on every level, not just the level of eating meat, eating dairy, like of just being exposed to some of the things that we do in this world as a new soul, and then just being told over and over again that it's normal and that's the way things are and there's nothing we can do about it, and it's a part of our nature to be omnivores, a part of our nature to do XYZ thing. That I totally empathize with this man, because even as he was speaking on screen, I could see that he was like, I had to be okay with this. And that made me, I was like, you know what, that's what we are doing right now as humanity. We are all very, like, we're like fighting this trauma, right? There's a saying in the healing community, you had to do what you had to do to survive, but I guess the message was just like, I don't have to survive anymore, I get to thrive.
Amen. Yes, like, yeah, we don't have to, just, Saint said it perfectly. We do not have to eat meat, we don't have to kill anything. We can thrive, raise our vibration by eating a plant-based diet. Plant-based lifestyle, you guys. It's totally a choice. So,
well, with that, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, definitely check it out. Cowspiracy directors Kip Anderson and Keegan Kunn. Keegan Kunn. Sorry, guys. But definitely check it out. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, and for those of you who are wondering, what recipes might be good to substitute with meat, we are starting to populate our website with recipes for you. Really savory wet recipes, warm recipes, raw recipes, what appliances you need to start your vegan journey, and how to meal prep. So check out our website. It's hhsphere.com. And yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. So watch for it. Like us. Like it. Come on. Ask us questions. We're here. If you have any comments or, you want us to cover something, please let us know.
And tell us how you enjoyed Cowspiracy.
Yes, please tell us.
Thank you.
Bye.